Peace and blessings, beautiful people. Peace and blessings. And this is Empress Imani, and welcome to this episode of Sacred Love Lessons. So today, you guys, I want to talk to you about don't worry, be happy. And what that's all about is you giving yourself permission to be happy, right? Because we're all responsible for our own happiness. Everyone, including myself, must carry their own water. And what that means is that you're responsible for you. You must hold yourself accountable, and that your happiness is not contingent upon anyone else or anything else outside of you, right? And so sometimes we must give ourselves permission to be happy. In this world that we live in, I know from my childhood upbringing, it was not a very happy childhood. And so over the years, I realized that I was so accustomed to chaos that I had to give myself permission to be happy. And you guys, praise report. I live in happiness every day. Now, this took a lot of work. And if you're not there yet, it is okay. Just take one step at a time. Now, permission starts with you, right? It all starts with you. Now, what permission does, it says that you are open to the possibility of positive things happening in your life, right? Not to you, but for you. And you are open. Without permission, you guys, there is no growth, because what will happen is you'll continue to try to please other people. You'll try to change and modify who you are, shape-shift, into being who you think people want you to be. There's no happiness in that. There's no happiness in that. But when you give yourself permission to be happy, you are able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Now let's see. How do you give yourself permission to be happy? The first step is acceptance. Just accept, right? Whatever happened in your past, it is in the past. We cannot rewrite the past, but what you can do is you can pull out a blank sheet of paper and write this chapter that you're in right now and the next chapter and every chapter after that, by giving yourself permission to be happy. So accept, right? It's some things that you just have to accept. Accept where you are right now. Okay, this is where I am. Things are not perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. We're not perfect, right? We're spirit beings having a human experience, and we're not perfect. And sometimes things don't go according to the way that we plan them, right? Sometimes we get into relationships and we think, hey, this is going to be the next thing, next to sliced bread. And then you get in there and it's just an emotional wreck and it's just chaos, right? And it's a disaster, right? Guess what? Give yourself permission to be happy and know that you don't have to stay. You don't have to stay and do anything that you don't want to do. If you find yourself working on a job or in a business that you don't like, say you own your own business and you don't like it, guess what? You're the boss. Pivot, go in a different direction. If you're working on a job that you don't like, be responsible, serve with excellence, but leave, right? I am not an advocate of telling people to stay where they're not happy. Go where you're treated best. Go where you feel the best. Go where you feel at peace and your peace is protected. So the first step in giving yourself permission to be happy is acceptance. And you have to accept where you are. You have to be honest with yourself. Because if you keep saying, I'm fine, everything's okay, and you pretend, that nothing is going on, and you have on this mask, you will never achieve happiness in your life. So be honest with yourself, right? Then the second thing is understand that you have a choice. Life is the sum total of the choices that we make. You have a choice in all things. And if you're not happy where you are, just choose, make a different choice and choose to go somewhere else. Do something different. Just go through every area of your life. And whatever you find, okay, this could be a little better, or I'm really unhappy with this over here, address it and make the pivot, right? So you can be happy, right? The third thing is you have to take action. And I've been talking about action this whole time. Take calculated risk. Even if it's just a baby step, one step in the right direction will eventually lead you to where you want to be. And I always say, follow your heart. And when I say follow your heart, I'm not talking about emotions, right? Because we all know that emotions come and go. Sometimes your emotions can be all over the place. Sometimes emotions can be imbalanced. We're not talking about emotions when I say follow your heart. What we're talking about is your heart's calling. What calls to your heart? We're talking about sacred purpose. We're talking about what are you passionate about at the root, just sub-level of who you are, the cellular level of who you are. What are you passionate about? Tap into that energy and then go with that, right? Go with flow with that, right? So what happens when you give yourself permission to be happy? When you give yourself permission to be happy, you guys, you will have more peace. Because you're going to protect your peace. If peace is important to you, you will protect your peace. You'll have more love in your life. You will be more loving, more self-love, right? You'll invest in more self-love where you'll be more loving to yourself. And as a result, you'll be more loving to others. And then you will attract more love into your life. So that's one thing that happens when you give yourself permission to be happy. Number 2, you'll have more abundance. And no, I'm not talking about money right here. Right here, I'm talking about peace, joy, happiness, right? You'll have more of that when you give yourself permission to be happy. Prosperity. Now let's talk about the money. When you are happy, right? Scientists have proved this. When you are happy, you will create, attract more money, prosperity, and wealth into your life. Because to you, whatever you're working on, whatever dreams you're pursuing, it won't feel like work, right? You'll never work a day in your life because you'll be on purpose. You'll be on your life path. You'll be on track. And it won't feel like work. It'll excite you, ignite you. You'll want to get up in the morning and greet the day, right? Great rising. You'll want that. And as a result, you'll focus more on securing the bag. As you pursue your passion, pursue your dreams, the money will flow, right? The money will flow because of the energy that you're vibing on will be much higher versus the energy of lack, worries, sadness, depression, anger, frustration. All of those are low vibing energies. When you're in that energy, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm angry or when I'm sad, I can't think straight, right? My emotions are out of balance. I can't think straight. That's a low vibration. When you're in that low vibration, you're not able to manifest. And I was talking to Wife Goddess, I think it was last night. I was talking to her and I told her, I remember when I made the most money, and I'm talking about more than 8 figures. When I created more than 8 figures, I was alone. I was not in a relationship. I was alone because I was able to sit within my own energy, right? And there was a lot of chaos going around. If you guys know my story, at that time, my youngest daughter, she's, much grown now, but my youngest daughter at the time, she was in the hospital and we had a terminal prognosis for her. Now, praise God that it was a 5-year period with all of that. We overcame the medical crisis. But at that time, when I attracted more than $1 million in my life, in my business, even though all of that was going on around me, all of the chaos, all of that we were going through, the crisis that we were going through, I was still happy within my soul. And my soul called in the money, because the Empress, you guys, I don't know if you know anything about the Divine Empress, which is who I am. The Divine Empress creates. That is what she does. She creates, she manifests. Everything she touched will prosper, shall prosper. Shout out to all my divine feminines out there, all my divine empresses out there. I love you guys. Yeah. So I was able to attract over $1 million in my life, even though my daughter was in the hospital. We had a terminal prognosis. That means the doctors told me she would die. Praise God, that did not happen. Right? She's healthy, abundant to this day. And that was years ago, right? That was years ago. But that is one thing that you will attract into your life when you are happy, because you will not work a day in your life when you are on sacred purpose, when you are on your life path, when you are happy and operating on purpose, right? You will attract the money. It will come to you. So prosperity. The next thing is what will happen when you give yourself permission to be happy is disruption. Yes, and I know that sounds like a contradiction, but it is not. And let me explain. So a few weeks ago, Wife Goddess and I, we were at the casino. We went to the casino, and from time to time, when I just want to let my hair down, I like to game a little bit. When I go to the casino, I don't go with, I'm going to hit it or whatever. I just go to have fun. I'm going to at least have one drink, and that's usually all I will allow myself to have, one drink. And then I love the slots, and I tend to play the penny slots, right? And I just go. So even if I'm just winning like a dime, I cheer and I carry on as if I just won $1 million. I'm happy. My vibration is high. Of course, Wife Goddess, she's there. So we both in there. We're in our little light bubble, right? And I noticed this last time that we were at the casino, several things happened. People began to come over to our machines, standing behind us, trying to social distance, standing behind us, watching, see what we were doing. This one guy, he eased up like 2 machines over so he could soak up some of that energy. This other lady, she asked us like if we had taken her chair, and Wife Goddess was like, no, that guy took your chair. She just wanted to be in our energy. So you're going to have a certain level of disruption. Some of those people that will come to you, they want to see what you're doing, and they want to soak up some of your light and your energy. Some will just observe you and see what's going on. Some will come over to be disruptive, like the lady about the chair, trying to disrupt the energy, the flow, because we were winning. Like every time I hit the button or pulled the machine, it was hitting, you guys. And every time it hit, I just was screaming and cheering and just really, really excited. Now, I'm just having a good time, right? Because I just want to vibe high. I'm in that moment, I'm giving myself permission to be happy. Wife Goddess, we 2 peas in a pie. So she there giving herself the same thing. But when we do that and we notice, no matter where we go, whether it's the casino, the beach, no matter where, we were at the airport happy. The police, Broward County Sheriff wanted to come over and insert themselves into our happiness bubble. So you will experience disruption. And guess what? I already told you about the medical crisis with my daughter. No matter what is going on outside of you, the circumstances, no matter what is happening, no matter the disruption or whatever, that should not disturb your happiness, right? It may break the flow of us sharing, but it doesn't disturb our happiness, because we'll respond to you. We don't react. We'll respond to you, and we'll go right back to what we were doing before you came over, being disruptive, right? And so give yourself permission to be happy today. Life is so precious, you guys. Even if you're married. And let me just pause right here and shout out to all of my couples who listen to the show. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting us. When you get married, when you come into sacred union with your other person, okay, you are still responsible for your happiness. It is not the other person's job to hold you up. It is not the other person's job to balance out your emotions. Now, when you get married, of course, you're going to be supportive. You're going to cheer on the other person. If they're having a rough day, you give them a hug, kiss them, be affectionate, show some love, that sort of thing. But you should not be looking to your spouse or your person, whoever you're in relationship with like that. You should not be looking to them to make you happy, to make you feel secure, and to balance out your emotions as a person, a spirit being having a human experience. That is your responsibility, and that is a part of you. Okay? You, and yes, I am pointing my finger, you carrying your own water. There are no victims. Okay? We have no victims here. You are responsible for carrying your own water. Now, what happens when you get into a relationship and the other person tripping? Because, oh my God, this does happen. You are still responsible for your own happiness. You cannot control what your spouse is doing. You cannot control what your significant other, twin flame, divine counterpart, whatever you want to call it. You cannot control them. Okay? And you shouldn't be trying to control nobody, right? Other than, children, and, you have to guide them. But adults, we're talking about adults here. You cannot control them. And you just have to accept. See, that take us back to number one. You have to accept, okay, this is where you are. This is how you want to live. This is what you're doing. Guess what? All of that right there does not take away from my happiness. Am I going to stop living my life because you are making choices? That's number two. Because you're making different choices? No. We all have choices to make. And life, your life, my life, is the sum total of the choices that you have made. You have made, right? And you still must take action to be happy, no matter what is going on outside of you. So I'm going to leave it there, you guys. I highly recommend that you go over to houseofsacredlove.com. We have a 21-day. It's complimentary. That means it's no charge to you. There's a 21-day mind-body detox that's on our site. And this detox, I have gone through this 21-day mind-body detox, like I can't even countless times. I can't even tell you how many times I've been through this program. It will help you tap into your happiness. Go over there, sign up. It's free of charge to you. Sign up, go through the program. Okay? So that's all I have for you guys today. And until we speak again, be the light.